Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mini Motorways, where today I felt like doing a little challenge where I'm going to try and beat my highest score that I have had so far in this game, which I think is New York at 4,000 points. At 5,989 score, let's see if we can beat that today. If you've never played Mini Motorways, essentially what it is a game about connecting houses to businesses. So these little houses will spawn around the place and you can connect them to these businesses. The cars will travel along the route and will try to collect these little markers. Once they've collected the marker, they will try to return home. There we go. And then these buildings can later on be upgraded into circles rather than squares, which produce a higher quantity of these markers in a faster rate. The way you lose the game is if these markers ever fill up, one big marker will show up and the timer will fill up. And if that timer does fill up, then that is over. At the top right here, you have your dates. Once a week, we get a new upgrade for the game, for this game. And we get to choose out of 2 different upgrades, and there's a multitude of them, such as roundabouts, bridges, and stuff like that. So as you saw, anytime we got to cross over a river, we have to have a bridge. We also have road tiles, you can see down here. We also can get roundabouts as well as traffic lights, which help with congestion. We can also speed the time up, so if we do that right now, it makes the game go a little bit quicker. We have just had another business spawn. We can afford to build it with a separate bridge on its own. So this one is unique. So as you can see, whereas most of the time you will just have one business, sometimes these double businesses spawn, so there's a space for another one to show up here. Hopefully in the future it'll be pink, because it'll be nice and easy for us to just connect this pink over there. Roughly the ratio you're kind of looking for is 2 houses per business, but you don't want the houses to be too far away, and you don't want to connect all these houses up together, because in the end it ends up just being a problem for your congestion. So here we have what happens at the end of every week, we get a new upgrade. So we can either take 2 bridges and take an additional 20 roads, or we can take traffic lights. I much more prefer bridges in this map, as I feel like that they are much more important. Interestingly enough, we have our first real decision, and I think we'll connect the city like that. I like keeping everything kind of nice and tidy, with nice straight lines everywhere. I don't like cutting them. I find that also means that there is less buildings and that kind of things popping up, which makes the game a little bit easier. This map you definitely want a lot of bridges on, because there is a lot of rivers that you're going to have to end up crossing. And we've just had another house pop up with another different colour business. So if we connect them, I'm just shy by 1. Up through that way. There we go. So we can now disconnect this one house and have this one, which is closer. Let's connect both of them together. We kind of want to keep these areas clear for the roads like this, because if businesses pop up and we have to cross, if there's a house built, like for example here on the grid, we won't be able to go through it, which is going to be a pain. We don't really currently have enough roads to do that, but we do have a bridge, so we'll just do that for that business, which makes it a little bit nicer. This business is probably going to struggle a little bit whilst we're trying to get those houses there, but I don't really have the roads to connect them. Again, we can get rid of this house and connect it to this, the business to that house. Roundabout or more roads. We're going to take twice as many roads, because we are currently struggling a little bit with the roads, and we're just going to keep this nice and clear. And we've got another business that popped up right here, which that house can take care of. Now we have a perfect, I was literally about to say, we have a circle up here that's not really getting enough houses, but all the houses just start joining up next to it, which is absolutely perfect. You also want to kind of plan how your houses kind of come out, how the roads come out, because that way you can prevent houses from building in certain areas. Okay, we now have a purple up here, which is going to be a little bit tricky. Ideally, if you can, you don't want to connect multiple businesses to the same network. So you want to keep them separated if at all possible, but sometimes it's not, and that's just the way it is. Once we get another bridge, we can maybe take this the long way around up here, and then have the house connect up there. But that doesn't mean we need another bridge, but we're just about to come into another one. New upgrade, motorways. You can use motorways to kind of do a big jump, like a big bridge across this whole area, and it speeds up the traffic substantially. But I think I'm going to go for 2 bridges. I think currently I want the bridges. We can cut this out, so now that keeps it nice and separated. And we can have another bridge to go all the way around there. So that way we can separate the purple from the pink. So far, it's actually looking pretty good. We want this through road just in case for anything. And the purple house here has upgraded, but that doesn't matter because we have enough people connected to it. We can connect another purple up here, which would be quite handy. And we can connect another purple down below once we get a new upgrade. So let's now take a motorway and connect this one up here. Perfect. So we can connect those like so. And now we have a blue that's currently trying to get in on the action. Here I'm trying to look at which bridge would be the most advantageous to remove and possibly use a motorway for. I think I will do that because of the way this building has developed. It's not the ideal place for motorway, but what it does is it blocks off the path for houses to spawn right there. Ideally you want the motorways to go as far as you can to the business, but this will do just fine. Currently on 226 trips, so we've got quite a bit of a way to go before we hit our, I think was it just shy of 5,000 mark? I think it was 4,900 or something like that, wasn't it? So we've got a little bit of way to go before we hit that mark and surpass it. So we've come up to another end of a week. We've got 2 more bridges and a bit more roads. What we're going to do is we're going to take this motorway back and we will establish a bridge connection again because we've got those bridges. And also because we've got a business all the way up there. And that's going to be a bit of a problem to try to span our bridges all the way. And it has to come here. That is annoying. That is not the type of business I've wanted it to be there. Well, I think the optimal thing to do is going to be connecting them like so. And then we've also got a pink up here, which is going to require 2 bridges. Unless we connect through an existing network, so let's try and do that because that network isn't currently too congested. Oh, and we have run out of roads. That's going to be a bit of an issue. I guess we can take a few roads from here because they don't require them, and then connect the pinks through that way. Oh, I just found out that we got houses spawned down there, so what we can do is we can take this back. We can take this back and we can just connect the purples and the creams just to this one, separating the whole traffic. So far it's looking pretty good. I don't see any traffic issues that kind of jump out straight at me. This orange one likes piling up a little bit, but it doesn't look too bad. It seems to be sorted. This has been sorted. Now it's probably going to have a bit of a recovery time because of what happened. Let's take another motorway for this. Okay, so now we have a blue. Where are the blues going to start spawning? Is it going to be over here? Unfortunately, it is. 3 businesses will usually cover enough to fulfill a circle. And then 2 houses will cover enough for a square. And then 3 houses will cover enough for a circle. So we don't really have to worry about, and if it's far away, it can be an issue, especially like this pink has just become a circle. We don't have enough bridges to really commit on a separate road, unfortunately, and this blue has just become a circle as well. which is a little bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Hopefully these pinks can handle the traffic there. Ideally we want another motorway that comes around. What I might... No, because we want to keep those blues separated. You don't want to have too many blues on one bit of road. So what we will do is we will separate. This way the pinks can have their own road to get to that place. We will make that journey a little bit shorter for them. If you do want to save on bridges, what you can do is, as long as you stay in the water, then you can stay on... It just stays as one bridge. So it doesn't matter how far you go, it'll just be one bridge. The only downside is you can't connect back to it. Okay, so I'm thinking if we move this up ahead and then move this business across, then the blues that are coming from here can also travel into that business. We've got another pink that we can connect up to here because they are struggling a little bit. That blue can stay right there where it is. I'm thinking if we move this down here, and they can have a direct access to both of them, which makes life a little bit easier. And then also if we do the motorway like that, it's a little bit better because they're traveling on the right hand side coming back, so whoever goes back into that house goes straight into that house. Okay, so now we have this kind of closed off, so that's all that the vehicles we're going to be able to do from that motorway from that angle, which should be enough to cover that circle. I see that we have a substantial amount of whites connecting here, so if we connect them up like this, that would be better. Let's take another 2 bridges because I feel like we're going to need them. The purples are kind of struggling here, but they should be okay, hopefully. I can always connect one of these purples to here if we struggle too much, but I don't think we will. I think we're doing quite alright. So what's just popped up? So there's more creams coming up here, but there's a cream business right there. Perfect. Connect them straight through. I will actually waste a little bit of road and connect them like so. So if we get more houses, we can connect them straight to there. Gives us a bit more breathing room down there as well. We have a lot more blues coming up here, but there's not really gonna be another way to get around them, I don't think. What I can do is if I take those blues and get them to connect down below, we can get these oranges to go around there. So we can do something like this. So the motorway connects to these blues and we can get more blues across the river, because we obviously do have 2 businesses there, which is a little bit hard to keep up with. We've got more cream buildings coming up. Pinks are really struggling up here, I would say, probably out of all the businesses. These are going to struggle a little bit for the start because obviously the delay, but they should be fine and they should be able to recover. Okay, so another motorway would be quite handy. I see that this pink is struggling a lot, but we'll keep the motorway in reserve for now. This orange has been connected up to here because we just upgraded to a circle, so this one's going to struggle a little bit. I was wondering if we needed another one here, but that is all fine because we do have an orange just down here connected, and another orange just appeared, but I don't think it's going to be necessary. And I think this is probably the time when we want to reshift our pinks around. So our pink building has connected here, which is not ideal because we don't want to mix. So what we'll do is we'll disconnect the cream buildings here, and then we'll connect. I can do a crossover, which I don't really want to do. So I'm thinking basically if we do pinks like this, actually it should be fine. So if we do cream coming up here, and then with our pinks, we'll take this business right here and connect it right there. And then we do have a spare here if we need it. if we need another cream connected to that building. I see that this orange is really struggling for whatever reason, so let's give him another orange building. Hopefully that should make it a little bit easier for him. I don't really know why he's struggling so much. He's got three houses going to him. Maybe if we do a little cut section just to make it quicker, maybe that'll improve him a little bit. We will take another set of bridges. I don't really take the traffic lights much. Sometimes I take the roundabouts, but I try to keep everything segregated and separate. So there's usually not a need for it to show up. If we take this road here, so because the pinks have no need to come in here, it doesn't create congestion, so they can connect that way, which is great. And then I've just noticed that we can connect another cream building up here. The only thing that's kind of worrying me is this cream maybe a little bit, because it does look like it's struggling a little. And ideally I'd want another building to this purple or motorway of some sort. This building should be fine. This building should be fine, although again I would like a bit more up here. Okay, so now we've got another cream building and the cream guys are spawning up top. We do have another bridge, so we will gladly bridge over and have these guys connect up there. And a pink has just appeared, and I don't think we have enough strength to really carry that pink. That's kind of annoying. So what we'll do is we'll connect this guys over here, and then we'll connect. So this pink can go there, this pink can go there. I can connect another pink just there, and we'll make a bridge over here, and then we'll let these pinks just handle this. Hopefully that's going to be enough, but I'm not sure if it is. Actually, we can add another pink there, and then we'll just have those two pinks going straight to that building. So that building shouldn't cause any problems. That building might cause a bit of a problem in a short run, but I'm hoping that it will be covered. Oh, and we've got another motorway. That is perfect. I'm just debating whether I want to add another motorway to these pinks, but I think hopefully we should be just alright. There we go, about to come to another end of a week. We're on Thursday, coming over for into Friday, and I think this is so far a pretty good run. These purples may be struggling a little bit down here, but I think they're doing just fine, and the pinks again have recovered for the most part, so there shouldn't be any problems there. I think it's doing pretty good. 1,600 trips so far done, so it's not too bad at all. But again, we're not even halfway there to getting that 5,000 mark, and about to set into another week. Okay, so now we don't have a choice of anything what I would class as good. I will take traffic lights because I think they'll be slightly better than having anything else currently. This cream building is kind of struggling quite a bit. So what I might do is I might involve more of these cream buildings and have them cross over. Don't have to just yet, but it might be an idea for the future. The way we're going to do that is I will prepare for that now. It makes the trip a little bit longer, but it does mean that we do get an additional house to that cream building, which helps out in the long run. And we've got another orange building here. That orange is really struggling, and I'm really struggling to see why. It has quite a lot of traffic connected to it, and the congestion shouldn't be too bad. We'll pop down a traffic light there just in case, but I think that's probably going to slow it down more than anything. And then we've got a blue that just came out of nowhere just here. No, we don't. That blue just upgraded into a circle. That's what that was. And I don't think we quite have the capacity for it. So we might have to actually separate these blues for once. We get another motorway. So let's do that. Let's separate the blues. So if we take this and connect it just to there, so they can have their own. Oh no, we want to do it the other way around. So these can have their own junction, and then these blues can have their own little motorway, spreading all the way down to there. This does also open up the idea for putting cream buildings across. It does also mean that we can switch things over. So if we want cream buildings, we can now. And also let's keep it like so, and then let's prevent any buildings from coming up from below here. Let's keep our low options open here. That purple again also struggling quite badly. I think it's probably because we've got these connected together, but there's no real way of getting around that, unfortunately. Not unless we connected a bridge up to here or something, which I think would probably look a bit shoddy. But we can try it. That's just upgraded to a large pink, so hopefully these pinks can take care of it. Again, no real easy way of connecting there. We do have more pinks, so if we need it, we can connect it up. I see that this pink, is it pink or orange? This orange has upgraded as well. But it should be fine. We've got an orange building we can use there, so let's just connect that in there just in case. We do have another motorway, so let's use the motorways while we have them, and connect another pink up to that building up top. We just gotta wait for them to come back, which hopefully be sooner rather than later, because that is really building up badly. And we'll take another bit of traffic lights. So there's our motorway back, so we can connect our motorway just up top. This is really starting to look like Spaghetti Junction. It kind of becomes hard to really see what's going on. But I think we are just managing just about alright. I don't see any major glaring issues that's going to bounce back. That purple I can't really do much about, unfortunately. Again, nothing's really jumping out at me. We can do a purple up to there just to make that journey a little bit easier. We do have more oranges coming up, so let's do another orange there so we can connect all those up. And let's bring the oranges up a little bit, junction wise. Oh, so we've got some blues connected just there. Are they needed anywhere? Not really. But let's just streamline these oranges a little bit. And we've got another motorway. We'll keep that as an emergency backup just in case we need it. But so far I think we're going to be good. This purple is really starting to worry me. So what I will probably do in a minute is have that purple connect to these two. Cream building. Oh, that's ideal. Jumping into a larger cream building. We can connect these three up like so. And that is exactly the kind of meter that happens when you have too many pips on here. So every time you remove a pip, this timer will go down. And once you move all of those pips, the timer will disappear. Uh-oh, we have the oranges struggling up here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to move these oranges up there. And then these oranges will come down here to help out. Motorway is nice and handy. Are these purples going to be able to recover? I don't think that they are, unfortunately. We've got another motorway, so we could do an emergency connection straight to there just to make that recover. Oh, that's close. That's cutting it close. So those oranges, so these oranges to be fair. But we are on 3,200 trips, so it is going to get a bit hairy. And the purples have recovered nicely. Okay. So I think we can disconnect those. Let's have another house just go up there, just as a security measure. Okay, more blues. Let them connect to there. I think we're getting a bit tight for room around here at this point. What needs urgent attention? That blues probably is going to need some help. So is that one. So we've got quite a few blue houses we can connect just through there. So they will help out. We got a few blues here that we can possibly connect, but we don't have a motorway. That blue's struggling now because it's only connected to 2 of them. Well, we can add a 3rd one just to maybe ease it off a little bit. We'll take another bridge. It might be better if we connect the motorway straight to there. And then these will be able to recover much quicker. We are struggling again. I don't think it's going to switch fast enough. I think that's going to lose us the game probably now. Is it going to go fast enough? And I think that is it. There we go. Too few cars could reach this destination in time, and the city was shut down. 3,699 points scored in the end in 121 days. Unfortunately, we didn't quite reach the goal I was looking for of our 5,000, but it was a good effort. I think just extra point. 6,000 that we needed to reach, not 5. But it was a good effort nonetheless. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.